Hello guys, how's it going? So today this title this is for the grads, for everybody who's graduated this year, high school, college, and anybody that's in their 20-somethings. Today I got to share, speak a little life into my cousin today, and a little shout out to Jeremy Novak, and he just kind of got me going. He's like, man, I wish we would have recorded that. And so then I went to a graduation party and we ran the photo booth tonight. So this message is for you. All right, guys, you're 20. You just graduated. Your whole life is ahead of you. This message also said this is not going to be what your parents are going to tell you. Why is that? Because I'm going to tell you guys that you have your whole life in front of you. Do not play it safe. Do not, take risk. Take risk in what you want to do, what drives you, what you have passion for. Today I was talking to him, and he is, between my two cousins, Jeremy and Russ, they have so much gifting in music and dancing and performing, and they're not using it right now. Currently, they're not using it. And it's a shame because that's something that God gave them to give to others, and they're not using it for whatever reason. So, and why? Because they're kind of playing the safe game. The safe game. And when you're in your 20s, it's not the time to play safe. It's not the time to take that, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 job so you can have a nice retirement and whatever, Social Security, whatever, later. If you don't have children, if you're not married, this is your time right now to go make something happen. Whatever is burning inside of you, whatever keeps you up at night, that you want to learn more about, that you have a burning passion for, go do that. Education is key, right? I believe education is key, but not the same education that everybody else thinks. Self-education. Self-education in the areas that fuel you, that fill you up. That's the kind of education that I want you guys doing. And you're 20, actually, I was 20, 21, 22, in college, was only there to play sports. And I started my company, was also coaching tennis. Also had Andrew and I were very serious. We're getting married in a few years, and I dropped out of college after my sophomore year. I was going to business school, right? I was going to business school, guys, learning from people that weren't running businesses. What kind of sense does that make? All right, guys. So think about what you're doing. If you're, and I'm going to be the first person to say, college might not be for everybody. College, you might be able to learn just as much, actually more real time today, what's happening, through YouTube and books and different courses than you could in college, because a lot of times college is teaching you old stuff. So think about that, guys, when you're taking that step, when you're making that investment. Also, if you do not know what you want to do not go and spend and go into crazy amounts of debt. Because also, like I told my cousin today, is imagine your spouse who you want to spend the rest of your life with. Well, you need to be that person that person would be attracted to. Well, somebody that's coming out of school with $100,000 in debt for nothing, no real education, and then going to go play it safe for $30,000 a year, that person's not going to be attracted to that person. So right now, before you have kids, before you're married, go take some risk. If you have something in you that's burning and you want to start a business, or you want to go and donate your time, make something happen, go on missionary trips, that's the other thing. I want you guys to live with a purpose and on purpose. So with a purpose, meaning, this is another thing we're just talking about. I'm talking to my son about this. He's 10 years old. He has big goals. He says he wants to make $100,000 by age of 13. Great, JJ. You know how much $100,000 is? Do you know how you're going to do that? And then what are you going to do with that money? So then we started looking at reverse engineering. What it would take to do that? And then what would you do with that money? This is not something anybody ever talked about. $100,000. So we start looking at some things. You know, he could buy some stuff. He could put it away. He could invest it. He could do a lot of things if he made that money. But you know what else he could do? He could help a ton of people too. And so we start looking at, you know, the kids, starving kids in Africa and third world countries where they are dying because they don't have clean water. You know, every 3 seconds somebody's dying of starvation. Let's think about that. Let's think about, you know, a bigger impact in this world. Not just going to buy a $30,000 car that you can't afford when you just got out of college with a $30,000 job. Let's think a little bit differently here. So I broke that down with JJ, $100,000. Did you know that you can dig a well, build a well for $30,000 that'll supply water to 2,000, I think it's 2,000 families or 2,000 people in Africa? That makes an impact. That changes somebody's life. That's doing life with a purpose. We are all here for a purpose. God didn't make you by mistake. You're not a mistake. Actually, I'm having conflicting numbers, but you are 1 out of 300,000 or 300 million, one of the two. You are not a mistake. You are here for a reason. You're here for a bigger purpose. So stop playing small. Stop not taking risk at the age of 20s. When you have kids, you know, that was another thing Jamie said. So what happens if you don't take risks now and you take them later? You can take them now. You can take them at 35. You can still do that. But guess what? I have a wife and 3 kids to support. It's a little bit more tough, to take those risks when you have 3 other kids. Now, I still take risks, and I'm a business owner, and that's the only way I'm going to live my life. But guess what? It's a lot easier when you're 20, 21, 22. It's a lot easier to be able, you know, bunk up with 8 of your friends and have no expenses and work on your passion. Passion and happiness win every single time, guys. If you're going to school and you're studying something that you cannot stand, stop. If you can't stand it, if you have to force yourself to learn it, it's not going to happen. What happens when you're interested in something? It's super easy to learn about it, right? You can draw it all in when you're interested. If you're not interested in it, it's horrible. So if you're doing that stuff that's horrible to learn, stop. If it's just for the money, stop. Happiness, passion wins every time. Live your life on purpose, for a purpose. All right, guys, I love you. Thanks for watching. See ya.